I like to tell you about what I found Christians doing on this internet. Welcome to the Christian Geek Radar. Hey guys, Peter Franson here from christiangeekcentral.com and Spirit Blade Productions with your Christian Geek Radar covering the month of October 2017. First off, with some interesting news from author Timothy C. Ward, who I've talked about on the Christian Geek Radar before. He's recently made a decision to step away from writing and go into ministry. And he, in a recent newsletter that he wrote and shared the background, he kind of gave all the details on it. I'll read just a little bit about where he's at right now, specifically in his decision. I won't read the whole thing. If you want, you can go to his website and get more information. But regarding just how he's feeling about his current situation, he writes, "I've been praying and have my wife's support, and since then, it has been amazing to see my heart change. It was so strange to be writing a scene in my book and thinking, man, this is pointless. I would so much rather work on my sermon, read my Bible, etc. In the months since meeting my friend," and this was a friend who had kind of asked him how he was feeling about ministry, which he'd been in and out of over the last 10 years, back and forth between ministry and writing. So he says, "Since meeting my friend, I've prepared sermons, met with church leaders, filled the pulpit at a church, and started a counseling relationship. Not to mention restore my marriage relationship with the love my wife deserves. I'm happier now than I've been in a long time. This is a result of really boosting my time in Scripture, which has refocused my joyful dependence on God. I'm being humbled through His Word, and this has led to sacrificing for my wife and family. This has restored those relationships in ways I was blind to when writing progress was more important than their feelings. I can now see how writing was an idol. I took a good thing and made it the most important, and sinned in anger when I didn't get what I wanted from it. This break from writing fiction may or may not be permanent, but I'm perfectly content in it and loving how God is helping me find joy in every moment and restoring my marriage to what it should be. I'm considering writing commentaries or inspirational nonfiction, but for now I'm giving my family more time than I have in a decade. I'm on a certification track to become a biblical counselor with ACBC and am blessed in the ministries God is giving me." Anyway, I just want to give the tip of my hat to Timothy C. Ward and just kind of sensing how God was moving. And I think he rightly points out here that this, writing was a good thing. It's not that he's saying that stepping away from fiction writing was a good thing, but sometimes those dreams that we have as creative people, I can speak from personal experience here, can become idols for us and can cause us to miss giving priority to the things that really should take higher priorities. So I think that's awesome, just that he's seeing what God is saying to him and he's willing to respond to it, and I imagine God's going to bless just his usefulness in the kingdom as a result of that, whether that takes the form of ministry from here on out with no writing, or whether the writing comes back into the picture at some point. Either way, I think that's awesome that he's making the move that he has. So for now, we see one author that's going to be stepping away from writing in the Christian geek genre. So with that in mind, let me actually introduce you, hopefully, to a few authors that you haven't heard of yet. Danita K Paul was one that I recently discovered, and she writes. She's got a number of series: the Cheryl Chronicles, the Dragon Keeper Chronicles, and the Realm Walkers series. So there's 5 books in the Dragon Keeper Chronicles. Let me read just the description for Dragonspell, the first book in the series. It reads, "One dragon egg holds the key to the future. When Kale, a slave girl, finds a dragon egg, she is given the unexpected opportunity to become a servant to Paladin, but on her way to the hall where she was to be trained, Kale runs into danger. Rescued by a small band of Paladin servants, Kale is turned from her destination. Feeling afraid and unprepared, Kale embarks on a perilous quest to find the Meech dragon egg stolen by the foul wizard Risto. But their journey is threatened when a key member of the party is captured, leaving the remaining companions to find the wizard Fenworth Earth attempt an impossible rescue and recover the egg, whose true value they have not begun to suspect. Weaving together memorable characters, daring adventure, and a core of eternal truth, Dragonspell, the first book in the Dragon Keeper's Chronicles, is a finely crafted and welcome addition to the corpus of fantasy fiction. And you can find more information about Danita K Paul at danitakpaul.com. And then it kind of took me down a little bit of a rabbit hole, because in discovering her and going to her site, I learned that her daughter is also a writer, publishing both through Christian publishing houses and I believe mainstream publishing houses, depending on the kind of work that she's doing. But you can get more information about Evangeline Denmark by going to evangelinedenmark.com. And most recently, her book Curio is kind of like a steampunk setting, and the description for Curio reads, Gray Hayward was always detested by the chemists, the magicians cum scientists who rule her small western town, but she has always followed the rules, taking the potion of the chemist's ration, taking the potion the chemist's ration out that helps the town's crap. I didn't rehearse this beforehand. Dang it! I forgot to rehearse this. But she has always followed the rules, taking the potion the chemist's ration out that helps the town's people survive. A potion that Gray suspects she, like her grandfather and father, may not actually need. By working at her grandfather's repair shop, sorting the small gears and dusting the curio cabinet inside, Gray has tried to stay unnoticed, or as unnoticed as a tall, strong girl can in a town of diminutive, underdeveloped citizens. Then her best friend, Wit, is caught by the chemist's enforcers after trying to protect Gray one night, and after seeing the extent of his punishment, suddenly taking risks seems the only decision she can make. But with the risk comes the reality that the chemists know her family's secret, and the chemists soon decide to use her for their own purposes. Panicked, Gray retreats to the only safe place she knows, her grandfather's shop. There, however, a larger secret confronts her when her touch unlocks the old curio cabinet in the corner and reveals a world where porcelain and clockwork people are real. There, she could find the key that may save Wit's life and also end the chemist's dark rule forever. So that's the book Curio, which you can get more information about. You can buy it at Amazon and other places. But Curio by Evangeline Denmark, more information at evangelinedenmark.com. And let's see here. The last author I want to draw your attention to is Patrick W. Carr, who has written, he's got two series, The Staff and the Sword and The Darkwater Saga. There are 3 books in the Staff and the Sword series. Let me just read the description of the first one in what did I just say? It was the Staff and the Sword series. It's titled A Cast of Stones. A Cast of Stones. The description reads, The fate of the kingdom awaits the cast of stones. In the backwater village of Callowford, roustabout Errol Stone is enlisted by a church messenger arriving with urgent missives for the hermit priest in the hills. Eager for coin, Errol agrees to what he thinks will be an easy task, but soon finds himself hunted by deadly assassins. Forced to flee with the priest and a small band of travelers, Errol soon learns he's joined a quest that could change the fate of his kingdom. Protected for millennia by the heirs of the first king, the kingdom's dynasty nears its end and the selection of the new king begins, but in secret and shadow. As danger mounts, Errol must leave behind the stains and griefs of the past, learn to fight, and discover who is hunting him and his companions, and how far they will go to stop the reading of the stones. So that's A Cast of Stones, book 1 of the Staff and the Sword series by Patrick W. Carr. You can get more information about other authors writing in Christian geek genres by going over to christiangeekcentral.com and checking out our portal page where you can get info on geeks that are creating, Christian geeks specifically, creating video games, like talking about, doing commentary on various geek culture stuff going on, authors, magazines, all kinds of stuff. So hopefully that's a resource that you'll find useful over at christiangeekcentral.com. All right, well, I should be back next month with more from the Christian. I really should have polished this up a whole lot more before recording. I'm a little pressed for time this week, so sorry about that. Anyway, more blah, 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 christiangeekcentral.com. See you next time. Bye-bye. Hey, just a reminder that this humble little YouTube channel is so dependent on people just like you. There are three main ways you can support this channel, and they're all over at spiritblade.com. The first is to purchase one of our sci-fi or fantasy audio dramas. Second is to give us a donation of any amount. And third, you can become a Spirit Blade insider and get access to exclusive behind-the-scenes monthly goodies. You can get more information on our About page over at spiritblade.com. Thanks so much.